had an older sister, about 4 years older, and she played basketball. My mom actually was a great basketball player, played in college, and was invited to the first USA team. So grew up kind of in a basketball family, and so started playing at a pretty young age, and really loved the sport, and really felt like I had just really a natural understanding of the game and good and natural instincts. And so I actually thought I wanted to coach by the time I was a 7th grader. Broke my wrist, and my mom was my 7th grade coach, and I sat next to her on the bench, and I would tell her, you should be doing this or that, and and so really thought I wanted to coach at an early age. And then once I got to college, I knew I wanted to coach at the college level. It was funny when I went on my visit to Texas Tech and met with Coach Sharp and her staff, and when we left, my parents asked me, what I thought, and all I could say was I just want to have her job someday.
Her coaching background's tremendous. She's a high-level coach. She was the head coach at a Power 5 institution at age 32. She was the youngest Division I head coach in the country at one point at age 26.
Really cool opportunity to go back to my alma mater and try to get that program turned around, and definitely proud of the strides we made, but at that level, you got a short window to get to the top, but really, great experience and great opportunity for me. I had taken a year off and had our 3rd child in August, and really wanted to just kind of stay open to any opportunity that came, whether that be coaching or something else.
So Coach Edmondson ends up retiring, and we launched into a search, and it actually happened later than you'd like as an AD. You'd want to start a search right after the last basketball season, and it became the season. And if my mind is correct, it was probably 3 weeks to a month after we played our final game that we started our search. So we were actually a little bit behind than we normally would be when looking for a coach.
So I wasn't necessarily looking and searching for a coaching job, but I grew up down the street from Dr. Vardabedian, and so when the job opened, his son, Rob Vardabedian, called me and said, hey, Candi, I think you should, take a look at this. I think you'd like it there, and it's a great school, and so I did, and did a little research, and then talked to Josh, and when I came on campus, I was really impressed.
I still remember it. I was out in Columbus, Ohio. I was watching the women's Elite 8 for D2, and looking at some assistants on some other teams as well, some head coaches, and just watching the coach and seeing who we wanted to engage. And I missed about a full game of the one I was there to watch because I got Candi on the phone, and we talked for an hour plus, and it kind of just kept building from there. We got her on campus, and it was definitely recruitment of her, and we're very fortunate that we were able to get her here.
So my official start date was April 22nd. I know that because it's my birthday.
As soon as she said, yep, I'm 100% in, she was on the road recruiting like crazy. She was still living in Texas, coming back up, hosting recruits, going back to Texas, being with her family. That really for the first 2 or 3 months on the job, trying to do both. And she gets a great signing class with some impact players we've already seen early this season. She's already signed 5 high schoolers in the early period for 2020, and so she's gotten after it, but she hasn't shied away from finding a balanced experience as well.
And I just commuted back and forth from Texas until our family moved in mid-June, just to let our boys finish school. So I kind of came and go as I needed for recruiting, so I would spend a week here and then go back home and then come back for official visits. So 7 kids is a lot to sign in a short amount of time, and I think we did well. I think we're really blessed to sign the kids we did, and especially as late as it was.
She knew we were getting a high-level coach, but for us and our need, we needed somebody that would really connect with our athletes, fit in our culture here, just being a positive person, optimistic, community-oriented, great family and team member, and those are the most important things. And when we named her and she was here, there was only about 2 days left that the NCAA would allow the athletes to work out with coaches because finals were right around the corner. So it was basically, heck, she worked them out before her press conference, then press conference introducing her, and another workout. So there wasn't really much time for, hey, I'm Candi, what's your name, all that. It's more, well, we have 2 hours to get in 2 days, and we don't have time for all those pleasantries. We had to get out. So they were working out before they really even knew each other. So kind of reverse of how you normally do it.
She put us through a workout, and she actually kicked our butts. It was pretty tough, so it was a little rough, but it was good. We had like a little practice round just so she could get a feel for us and we could get a feel for her. Basically, it was in the off season. We were just in here running layups and like she was just trying to figure out our skills.
I think players are always probably terrified. You know, there's a coaching change. Who's this person coming in? What is she going to be like? They were awesome. I think they were, I'm sure, nervous. My first workouts with them were great. I thought they had really good energy and supported each other really well.
My first impression was that she actually cared. She tried to do a lot with us firsthand, so we knew that she was legit into it.
I think I bring a lot of energy. I'm very involved in practice. You know, I'll jump in. I think I'm a teacher first. I try to do a good job teaching what I want them to do and what to read, and I'm big on the why. I can be a little feisty and you know, get after it, but I think it's always, you know, in a very respectful way that, hey, I'm just trying to get them to play as hard as they can.
Boy, you see the competitive fire come out. I told her after her first game, I said, Candi, that first half there, we were up by 20. I thought you were going to break your heel. And she laughed and she goes, well, actually, I did, because she's stomping and getting after it. But it's been a total flip in approach from our last staff. And I think that's also been very good from our team.
All of us, we always joke around with her, and she jokes with us back. Like, I got roasted today in practice, but it's all like, it's fun.
They've been fantastic with me. I mean, you know, relationships always take time. You can't really force it, but it's important. Those relationships are important to me, and knowing them and supporting them and their goals long term, you know, and in basketball and academics. So I think that those relationships are strong, but they'll get stronger over time.
And that shows the relationship she has with the kids. Her athletes, they wanted her to ring the bell, which I think she's the first coach we've had, at least here, ring the bell. That shows you something. That's the first thing they won, and that was a really good win.
You know, I don't ever want to put a number on our team or put them in a box. I think this team is capable of a lot. You know, and I think they should hold themselves to a high standard. I think they should expect a lot of themselves. I don't think that they should think they can't compete and win against anyone on their schedule. It's hard to say when you have so much new, hey, we're gonna go win the league, or hey, you know, let's try to finish in the top half. Like, I'm not really interested in that. I'm interested in, can you get better every day and compete against every single opponent.
It's all about sustained success, and this year's year one. And really, if you're competitive, and winning in year one, that's icing on the cake, because with any new staff, it takes a couple years to fully integrate their style and full recruiting classes.
I would love to see them go further than any team here has, and I think they have. I think they will. She's really great at recruiting.
Long term, we want to recruit high-level student athletes that are great students, that are great teammates, that want to win championships. And so when you recruit that, your culture takes care of itself, and when you go to work every day, the wins take care of themselves.